All right, so here's our quiz review for solving multi-step equations. Taking a look at number 1, we have n minus 6 plus 7n equals negative 22. So our first step on the left side of this equation is we need to combine like terms. We have a positive 1n here and a positive 7n here, and we can put them together and make that positive 8n. So now we copy down the negative 6 and the equal sign and the negative 22. Now our next step is going to be we have to get rid of this negative 6. So we're going to add 6 to both sides. On the left, the 6's cancel out, leaving us with 8n. And on the right, negative 22 plus 6, different signs, subtract, and keep the sign of the bigger number. That equals negative 16. So now we have 8n equals negative 16. And the last thing we need to do is get rid of this 8. So we're going to divide both sides by 8. On the left, the 8's cancel out, leaving us with n. And on the right, negative 16 divided by 8 is negative 2. And that's our answer. Looking at number 2, we have 1/8 equals negative 11/4 r plus 3r. So we see that on the right-hand side of this equation, we can combine like terms. However, one of them is a fraction and the other one is a whole number. So the easiest way to handle this would be if we could rewrite this whole number of 3 as a fraction with this same denominator 4. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to have plus something over 4r. And all we have to do is put a numerator here that will make this fraction equal to 3. So what do we put? We put 12, because 12 divided by 4 is 3. So now they're both fractions with a denominator of 4, and we can combine these like terms. So we have negative 11/4 r and positive 12/4 r. Different sign, we subtract, and we keep the sign of the bigger number. So this becomes positive 1/4 r. And on the other side, we bring down the 1/8. And so now we have 1/4 r equals 1/8. So we have to undo multiplication by this fraction 1/4. And the way we undo multiplication by a fraction is we flip and multiply. So we're going to multiply both sides of this equation by the reciprocal of 1/4, which is 4/1. So on the right-hand side, these cancel each other out, leaving us with r. And on the left-hand side, 4/1 times 1/8 is 4/8. However, this is not in simplest form. We could divide both of these numbers, 4 and 8, by 4, and so we get our answer in simplest form, which is r equals 1/2. That's how you do it. All right, moving on to number 3, we have 9 times 5k minus 7 in parentheses equals 387. So here we have to use distributive property. So we're going to multiply 9 times 5k, and that is 45k. Then we're going to multiply 9 times negative 7, and that is negative 63. We bring down this 387, and now we have 45k minus 63 equals 387. Next, we need to get rid of this negative 63, so we're going to add 63 to both sides. Now on the left, these cancel out, leaving us with 45k. And on the right, 387 plus 63 is 450. So for our final step, 45k equals 450, we need to divide both sides by 45. On the left, these cancel out, leaving us with k. And on the right, 450 divided by 45 is 10. All right, number 4. 5p plus 17 equals 3p plus 9. So this is an equation that has variables on both sides. What we need to do is get rid of one of these variables. And it's always a good idea to get rid of the variable of lesser value. So we're going to get rid of this positive 3p. And the way we're going to do that is we are going to subtract 3p from both sides. Now, if you're confused, thinking maybe you can combine like terms, remember, you can only combine like terms if they are on the same side of the equation, which these are not. So, on the right, these cancel out, leaving us with 9. And on the left, 5p minus 3p is 2p, and we bring down this plus 17. For our next step, we need to get rid of positive 17, so we're going to subtract 17 from both sides. On the left, these cancel out, leaving us with 2p, and on the right, 9 minus 17, different sign subtract, and keep the sign of the bigger number, that equals negative 8. Then for our final step, we're going to divide both sides by 2. On the left, the 2's cancel out, leaving us with p, and on the right, negative 8 divided by 2 is negative 4. All right, last two questions. Number 5, we have negative 50 minus 10r equals negative 7 times r plus 5 in parentheses. So our first step is going to be to distribute. So negative 7 times r is negative 7r, and then negative 7 times positive 5 is negative 35. Let's bring down the rest of this equation. And so now we have negative 50 minus 10r equals negative 7r minus 35. We have variables on both sides, so we need to get rid of one. And again, the easiest path is going to be to eliminate the variable of lesser value. So we're going to get rid of negative 10r, and the way we're going to do that is we are going to add 10r to both sides. Now on the left-hand side, these are going to cancel out, leaving us with negative 50. And on the right-hand side, negative 7r plus 10r, different signs subtract, and keep the sign of the bigger number, that equals positive 3r, and we bring down this negative 35. Next, we want to get rid of this negative 35, so we're going to add 35 to both sides. On the right, these cancel out, leaving us with 3r, and on the left, negative 50 plus 35, again, different signs subtract, keep the sign of the bigger number, that's going to be negative 15. And then finally, we need to divide both sides by 3 to get rid of this 3 here. Divide both sides by 3. On the right, the 3's cancel out, leaving us with r. And on the left, negative 15 divided by 3 is negative 5. So our answer is r equals negative 5. Last question, we have negative p times p plus 7 in parentheses equals negative 7 times p plus 4 in parentheses. So we have some distributive property taking place here. First, we're going to do negative 10 times p, and that is negative 10p. Then we're going to do negative 10 times 7, and that is negative 70. Then on the other side, negative 7 times p, and that is negative 7p. And then negative 7 times 4, and that is negative 28. All right, so now we have variables on both sides. Again, we have a negative 10p on the left and a negative 7p on the right. We're going to get rid of the variable of lesser value. That's going to be negative 10p. And again, the way we do that is we're going to add 10p to both sides. On the left-hand side, these cancel out, leaving us with negative 70. And on the right, again, negative 7p plus 10p, that equals positive 3p. And we bring down this negative 28. Next step, we need to get rid of this negative 28, so we're going to add 28 to both sides. On the right, these cancel out, leaving us with 3p. And on the left, negative 70 plus 28. Different signs subtract, keep the sign of the bigger number. That's going to equal negative 42. And then finally, all we have to do to get rid of this 3 is divide both sides by 3. On the right, 3 divided by 3 is gone, and that gives us p. And on the left, negative 42 divided by positive 3 is negative 14. So that's our answer. All right, I hope that this review helps you to get ready for your quiz. Good luck.